Greetings. Today we're here to talk about the upcoming lunar eclipse. So we have a full moon tonight. Technically, it's exactly at midnight, my time, which is Pacific time in the United States, California time, if you will. So midnight, my time means 3 a.m. East Coast time, and you can adjust for your own time zone. That is the exact moment of the full moon, the moment when it is fully opposite the sun, and that is when the full moon is exact. But of course, the energy of the full moon affects us and impacts us for several days before and after the exact full moon. I would say it probably peaks right around that time of exactness. Although for you, it may not be the exact moment, right? It can be the night before, the next day, etc. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Sunday, March 24th. We are looking at the lunar eclipse. Get my words right here. The lunar eclipse that is coming as the full moon in the cycle that began with the Pisces new moon. So eclipses happen only at a full moon or a new moon because we have that time when the earth, the moon, and the sun are all in a line because everything's moving, right? The earth is orbiting around the sun and the moon is orbiting around the earth. And when they line up so that all three are in a line, we get either a new moon or a full moon. When there is an eclipse, it means that not only are they in a line, but they are also in the same plane because the moon's orbit is a little bit tilted to the sun's orbit. So we can have a new moon or a full moon where the moon is not exactly in the same plane, right? Like a plate of the Earth's orbit around the sun. So anyway, if I'm losing you in all this technical stuff, don't worry about it. The point is that everything is lined up and it's in the same plane. It's kind of like, so if you're shining a light through a keyhole or trying to look through, like, okay, so say your eyeball, right, is looking through a keyhole, tiny hole. If your eye is a little bit above or a little bit below that keyhole, you can't see something necessarily that's exactly straight ahead from that keyhole. So if you're looking at, say, a picture on the wall opposite that keyhole, your eyeball, the keyhole, and the picture all have to be lined up just so that you can exactly see it when you look through that keyhole, of course, assuming you're not so close to the keyhole that you can see the entire wall, if that makes sense. Okay, so the point is that you have this alignment, and this alignment means that energy can move more easily. When energy can move more easily, we have in our lives, in the energies that we're in, right, in our day-to-day lives, we have this experience of shift. Something can shift. So if you've been working on your own personal growth, your whatever the issues are for you, if you've been working on a creative project, if you've been working on healing something in your life, making your relationship healthier, or something else that you might be working on, trying to grow through or improve through. This is a moment when there can be a significant shift. So especially if you've been laying the groundwork, everything lines up so that it can kind of go clunk into place where you can see things. So you can start to have the experience of breakthroughs around eclipses. And it's going to be more or less depending on where that eclipse falls in your own particular chart. But regardless of whether this is a big moment for you or a little moment for you, we all are having this the experience of this eclipse. Everyone who lives on Earth is having the experience of this eclipse. So it's a moment of potential shift. It is a moment where we are experiencing a full moon. So the full moon reveals, right? If you've been following me, you know that full moons reflect something back to us. They illuminate, they reveal something that helps us to see what we couldn't see before. So when we're working consciously with a moon cycle to manifest things we want, to work on our own healing process, to shift into higher gears in terms of what we're capable of and our creative abilities, right? To create and manifest the things we want in our lives and around us. When we're doing that, we want to work with the moon cycle to set our intentions at the new moon so that the moon cycle can support us in recognizing, right, how and where we need to change to be the person who has the things we want. So there's many layers to this, and if you follow me over time, you know these are things that we talk about in different ways, depending on where the moon is and what moon cycle we're in and what the outer planets are doing and everything. So right now, what's happening is we are in the Pisces moon cycle. Pisces is the energy of transcendence, of interconnectedness, of dissolving boundaries. It's the sign of dreams, of imagination, of connecting with spirit, of connecting with what brings meaning and higher wisdom into our lives. So making our hearts sing, connecting with that bigger picture of what feels important and true and right to us. And so that might be a little bit different than what it is for someone else, but maybe what makes your heart sing is it could be all kinds of things, but whatever it is, this full moon is in Libra. So Libra is the sign of relationships. So one of the things that this full moon is reflecting or illuminating for us is the experience of how what gives meaning to our lives shows up for us in our relationships. So there are many layers to this, as there is to everything, and there's of course positive possibilities and not so positive possibilities. But what is showing up is the ability to experience breakthrough or shift in our relationships or through our relationships, reminding us of what is important to us. So in a sense, it's like the people around us, the people we care about, the people who care about us, the people we are working together with, right? Sometimes productively, sometimes not so productively, but it's those people who irritate you and get under your skin, who are really pushing you to grow and learn and get stronger in yourself, more centered in yourself, so you can articulate and speak up for yourself and stand up for what you care about in productive ways, right? So in ways that bring about not just kicking someone out who doesn't agree with you, but in ways that tend to embrace our differences and recognize the real balance of how we can work together even within our differences. So healing, right? Healing that can take place, not about perfection, but it's about walking that path of becoming more of what we're capable of learning how to get along with people. Okay, so to bring it back to this lunar eclipse and Libra full moon, we have this potential for our relationships to reveal something to us that can help us shift in our lives. So that aha moment, that moment of illumination when you see, oh, this is something I could not have known without having this relationship. The way that this person opens my heart, or the way I can see the real gifts that this person being in my life brings to me. So because it's in Libra and Libra is about relationships, there's some quality here that has to do with how we work with and get along with others, how we work together. Again, whether you work together happily and productively, or you work together through conflict or whatever that is, it's a kind of relationship, right? So so it's through those relationships that we can shift, that we can experience breakthrough, that we can see more about who we are and what our truth is and how to live that truth. I can't sit here and tell you how to live your truth, right? That's why you're here. You're here to discover that. And it is a journey. And so what I can tell you is that we have these conditions where when we are paying attention because of this Libra lunar eclipse, we have the conditions where it is through our relationships that we can see more clearly who we are. And through our relationships that we can see how the gift of having someone outside of ourselves, right? It's not just about you, it's about you together with another person who has a whole completely different perspective. How the experience of having more than one or having someone outside of yourself able to reflect something back to you is what helps you shift in your own personal journey toward recognizing what you're capable of. So what does that look like in real life? It could look like this is a potent or important time to focus on relationships, to do relationship work, to honor and recognize and have gratitude for the people in your life. This could be romantic relationships, someone you've been with for decades. It could be someone you don't know very well. All kinds of relationships are part of this um, theme of the Libra full moon. So it's about you and another person. And so that can be intimate relationships, romantic relationships. It could also be friendships, co-workers, someone you're working together with on a project, someone who's there in your life for whatever reason. It can be family relationships, but family relationships kind of take us into a different kind of territory because there's a selfness to the other in our families. But it definitely is about the relationship component of the people in our families. So the way that the dynamic between you and another person, whether it's a family member or someone else. So focusing on noticing our relationships, their qualities, having gratitude for the people in our lives and letting them know that, right? We can engage with the power of our relatedness by appreciating and acknowledging the people in our lives. That can help to create shifts just from doing that, right? Just from having that sense of gratitude and appreciation for the people in our lives. So it can be a good time to focus on relationships. It can be a good time to remember what we appreciate about others. It can also be a good time to foster and cultivate our own relationship with ourself. So what is your relationship with yourself like, right? Where are the places where you get irritated with yourself or want to remind yourself that you appreciate yourself? You know, there is a relationship dynamic that we do have with ourselves. But just to recognize that through this eclipse energy, which is again like a portal, like something like a key lining up in the lock, or you're looking through the keyhole to see something that is all lining up just right, there is that potential for the energy to shift related to going back to the Pisces new moon and what brings meaning into your life, like what opens your heart. And you know, the combination of doing relationship work and opening your heart can be super, super powerful. So So as we think about the people in our lives, the people we work with, the people around us, the people we interact with, the people we have conversations with. These are the people who reflect something back to us, who help to illuminate something about who we are, what brings meaning to our lives, what is important to us, what makes our hearts sing, what makes our hearts feel more open and expansive and loving. And so there's also here the potential for opening to a bigger flow of love in our relationships, seeing how, maybe the conflict, the things that we get irritated by are maybe not as important as we thought, right? Seeing the bigger picture of the connection, the value that we experience in another person, what they bring to our lives, and why we're just grateful that they're there. So Libra also is a way of checking yourself, right? So checking, hey, what do you think about this? Or here, can I run an idea past you? How do you think about this? How do you view this? What is your perspective? How does this make you feel, right? So getting that outside perspective can help us to inform our own opinions, our own knowledge. It can also help us know more about who we are and what we value and how to live our lives in ways that help that value to grow. And value is not just about money, right? We tend to kind of obsess about money or physical wealth or resources when we think about abundance. But value can be so many different things in our lives. It can be anything that makes us feel good, that brings pleasure or beauty, a feeling of satisfaction with a job well done, right? That's a kind of value. The value of having birds sing around your home, the value of seeing the plants grow in your garden, of getting to harvest things that you can eat from your garden. There's all kinds of value. The value of the artistic process, right, regardless of what outcome that process brings, right? It's the value of just doing the thing and taking the steps to move forward. So also opening our hearts to this bigger picture of value. Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is about what brings value into our lives. With this lunar eclipse, we also have Mars now gone into Pisces. so the way that we move and take action needs to be in this bigger picture of the flow of love, of life, of the universe, right? Of following our intuition, trusting our gut, trusting our own creative process, for example. And then Venus is in Pisces as well. So as we're talking about Libra and Libra being ruled by Venus, Venus being in this sign of transcendence, of following the flow, of trusting the bigger picture of our dreams and our hearts, that is what brings value into our lives. So opening yourself to what that value could look like, and really opening your heart to what is really valuable in your life, especially the people and the relationships that you have. All of that can help you connect and shift to more of a connection with that bigger picture of love, of belonging, of the unconditional love of the universe, of spirituality, of connecting with spirit and wisdom and guidance, and that bigger picture of meaning for you in your life and whatever that looks like. So those are some of the things to think about, to be aware of with this Libra lunar eclipse. And in the next 2 more weeks, we'll have a Aries solar eclipse. So we're in this eclipse season. This is a time of shift, of breakthrough, of so you want to be planting your seed and asking the right questions. If you don't know what your bigger picture of meaning is, you can always start with a question. It's like, I am willing to know more about what my bigger picture of meaning is. I'm willing to feel shifts in what love means. I'm willing to understand more deeply the value of my relationship. So you can always start with a question. You can always start with an openness or a willingness. You don't have to necessarily know. And that sets you up. It primes you perfectly to ride the waves of breakthrough and shift in the unfolding of the positive direction, right? Of healing, of manifestation, and of shifting into your life and living your life in a way that is truly valuable and meaningful to you. So there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and I sure appreciate you subscribing to this YouTube channel. It's free, it's easy, and it supports my work. So if you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button. And you can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Check out different ways to work with me in a one-on-one session, looking at your own chart, and we can get more information from your own chart about how these eclipses impact you and how to work with the energy of your chart most effectively. So I'm Marina Orms. It's astrologyheals.com. Thank you so much for being here, and check back. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.